Hello everybody out there. I wanted to introduce you to my black cat. Last week I introduced you to Stripes. This guy felt a little neglected, so I just wanted to have you meet another member of the family. He was actually in the back all curled up in the dog bed, so he's pretty excited that I'm holding him versus sleeping. He was actually curled up with his brother. But anyways, this is a black cat. He just wanted to say hello to everybody. All right, my name is Mark Henriksen, Mr. H. Ooh, he's doing downward dog. He's got a good stretch going on. My cats actually bring lizards and mice into the house. It's a lot of fun. My wife loves it. Okay, garage math. I'm in my garage. My name is Mr. H. Hey, meow meow. And we're gonna go ahead and continue. Last lesson, woo! We covered these topics. If you didn't get a chance to see it, maybe check it out. Some of you that are kind of following along, you might have thought that I ended the last video a little abruptly, like there might have been one more problem left, and all of a sudden it just stopped. And normally, downward dog, and normally I have some sort of like, see you later. I actually had to cut that video because the last question I did about the golf balls, I screwed it up so bad. I was so embarrassed. And I don't mind being wrong because I think that's just part of the world. Kids like to see you wrong anyways, but I was such an idiot. I just went ahead and stopped it. So that is never going to be released in the director's cut or any other footage. Okay, proportions are so important. Oh my gosh. When we graph, when we slope, when we solve the world's problems, proportions are just everything. So we're going to go ahead and discuss what a proportion is, and we're going to solve for them, and I have one word problem, and we're going to live life happily ever after. So, pretty simple definition. Two equal ratios. Ratios compare two things. Proportions are two ratios that are equal. So, for example, the question for these are they proportional? There are tests. A lot of times it could just be common sense. You can just look at it and go, that doesn't make sense. Sometimes they're kind of close. So the two ways you can test when you have a proportion, a ratio, a fraction, and you want to know if they're equal, are they proportional, then these are the two tests. And there's even like another way you could do it. So it would basically be if you reduce to the same. So 1/4 is reduced as far as you can go. 5/20 would also be reduced to 1/4, so they are proportional. 1 out of 4 is the same as 5 out of 20. If you're making fruit juice and you put 1 cup of sugar for 4 cups of water, if you do 5 cups of sugar for 20 cups of water, it would have the same sweetness, okay? So the answer to that question is yes. Here's what I want you to do. I want you just to look at these really quick, whether you write them down or not. I want you to think about whether they are proportional or not, and then we'll go ahead and knock them out quickly together. Okay, hit pause. Okay, the other test that you could use is cross product. If you have two ratios and these products multiply are equal, then you have a proportion. For example, 1 times 20 is 20, 5 times 4 is 20. That's it. You don't have to reduce. You don't have to do anything. Other people will look at these and go, well, 1 times 5 is 5, 4 times 5 is 20. There's multiple ways you can tell if they are a proportion. Okay, so for this one, let's see. Let's do both. 4/6 reduces to 2/3. It's a proportion. Let's double check. 3 times 4 is 12. 2 times 6 is 12. It's a proportion. Let's triple check. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. The answer is yes. Yes. Okay, look at this bad boy. I don't know my 33s and my 27s. I could get a calculator out, but currently I don't even own a calculator. I just went on to Amazon and bought a calculator, which is really weird because I really have about 13 of them. Currently, I don't have any. Okay, I'm going to reduce these. 33 over 44, if you reduce them both by 11, that's going to be 3/4. 18 over 27, the Gukafa, as we know. Greatest common factor would be 9. 9 goes into 8. 2 times and 2/3. 2/3 is not equivalent to 3/4 just because they're both reduced or they're not the same. Okay, even cross products. 3 times 3 is 9. 2 times 4 is 8. It's close. This would be pretty close to the sweetness, but it wouldn't be the same. Okay, so that is not a proportion. Okay, last one. This one, I think that one looks like pretty cool. 12s and 10s and 14s. That sure looks close enough. That's only 2 bigger than that, and that's only 2 bigger than that. So it must be a proportion. That's not the test. Let's do the test. Okay, let's reduce them both. 12 over 10, if we reduce them both by 2, would be 6/5. 6/5. 14 over 12 would be, 7/6. 7/6, 6/5. Kind of sounds similar, but they're not. Let's do the final test. 10 times 14 is 140. 12 times 12 is 144. Close, but no cigar. Not a proportion. That's the test. It's either cross product, it's reduce, and cool stuff. All right. Now, what you may be asked to do is they give you a couple ratios, or they give you these problems and they say, make it a proportion. Again, multiple ways to do this. I'm going to be the annoying teacher who's going to show you different ways. If you just want to use your brain and do it and just know it, that's fine. If you know how to reduce them to the same, that's good. I'm actually going to teach it to you cross product. It's a little algebraically, and some of you are going to go, I don't need to do that. Well, good for you. But I'm still going to show you. Okay, so let's, for example, you're making that world famous fruit salad that we talked about in the last video. In your fruit salad, for every 5 strawberries, you have 2 blueberries. That is why people buy your fruit salad. However, you're making it for a big party. So you're going to have actually 8 blueberries, but you can't just put more strawberries in just willy-nilly. You have to have the exact same ratio. Okay, so a couple ways to do this. If you know this times this, so 2 times 4 is 8, what thou doest to the top, if you multiply it by the doest to the top and the bottom, it's going to come out to the same. So that would be 20, okay? What doesn't work, you can't go plus 6 plus 6. It doesn't work with adding. It only works with multiplying. And then if you reduced 20 over 8, it would be 5 halves because you would reduce them both by 4. Okay, I'm going to leave that one the way it is for now, but I'm also going to show you the next one, a second way to solve it. You can solve them either way, okay? There's actually 3 ways. All right, now we did talk about cross products. This times this equals this times this. I'm going to do some algebra. This times this equals this times this. This times this. How do you show this times that? Well, this times this is 5x. You put them together, it means multiply. Equals this times this, which would be 4/30ths. 4/30ths. How about 4 times 30? Sure. Okay, so now we have a little bit of algebra. That is what's called a one-step equation. We've already covered these. 5 times x, the way you undo multiplication is division. Divide by 5, divide by 5. Okay, so that would be 24. 120 divided by 5. 100 divided by 5 is 20. 20 divided by 5 is 4. This would be 24. Now, get in the habit of doing this, by the way. Anytime they ask you to solve for a variable, always write the variable equals whatever it is, okay? Let's test it. Does this reduce to 4/5? I don't know. If you divide this, the GUKFA, what's the GUKFA of 24 and 30? The GUKFA is 6, the greatest common factor. 24 divided by 6 is 4, 30 divided by 6 is 5, 4/5, we're good. Or you can, okay? 5 times 6 is 30, 4 times 6 is 24, or 30 divided by 6 is 5, 24 divided. There's so many ways you can do this, okay? All right, this one, I'm just gonna have you do it however you wanna do it. So hit pause or just watch and yell out the answer. A lot of you will just know how the answer is by just looking at it, but I'm gonna kind of make sure that we go through the steps. Okay, but let's do it the way I would do it if I was really lazy, which I am. Okay, the one numbers that you have, this times this is that, or this divided by this is that, but I know 7 times 2 is 14. 7 times 2 is 14. So this times 2 is 12. Something times 2 is 12. I'm just going to use my brain, and I'm going to say 6. Okay? X equals 6. Now, we can test it. If we put 6 here, 14 over 12 reduced to 7, 6. Divide them both by 2. Oh, that is 7, 6. You're already done. Okay. Very cool. All right. I'm going to do this last one, cross product. I want you to do it as well. This times this equals this times this. Do the variable on the left side first. Okay. So this times this equals this times this. So this times this is written 3x. This times this is written 2 times 45. 3x equals 90. Divided by 3, x equals 30. Okay? Oh gosh. Okay. We could do cross product. 30 times 3 is 90. 2 times 45 is 90. 30 over 45 reduces to 2/3. 2/3 equals 2/3. That's the proportion. Okay? It's really important. Why is it important? Because we have one word problem to do. So, you are in the dog washing business. I think this would make a great business, by the way, because nobody likes washing their dog. We take our dogs to the dog park, and they actually have hoses and these cages, which is really cool. So we end up taking towels and shampoo, and once in a while we wash our dogs at the dog park. It's a lot easier than doing it at home, and they don't mind. Okay, I want you to read this, and you're going to hit pause. And then you're going to try to solve it, and then you're going to unpause, and you're going to watch me work through it, and we're going to see if we get the same answers together. So, you get paid $48 to wash 6 dogs. Well, you are going to get paid the same amount of money, but next weekend you're going to wash 10 dogs. Again, we're going to assume that you're getting paid the same rate, so it's a proportion. So we want to figure out how much money you are going to receive. Now, there's a few ways we could do this. We could find the unit rate. That'd probably be the easiest, but I'm not going to do it that way. I want you to write a proportion. Now, I haven't talked about this yet, but this is uber important. Whenever you have a proportion equaling a ratio equaling a ratio, always write the word first. Words first. It doesn't matter what you put on top. Okay, so we're going to go money over the amount of dogs. Because when we write our proportion, you have to keep that the same. If you're going to go money over dogs, you can't go dogs over money because you'll get the problem wrong. So they're going to give you 3. They have to give you 3. There's only going to be one that you don't know. They give us the money in the dogs. So they give us $48. They give us that, and they give us 6 dogs. Now, here's going to be the question. Look at the other thing and tell us what they give us and what we have to find. They give us dogs, so dogs, dogs, dogs. We have to find how much money, okay? I'm even going to solve for, even as a dollar sign. You can put an X, but I already wrote a dollar sign. I should have put an X, but whatever. I think we've solved for footballs and all sorts of things. Okay, this is called a proportion. We just did this many. So now, there's a few ways to do it. It's a little trickier, because 6 times something, to figure out what 6 times something to 10 is, it's a little trickier. We could probably reduce this to its unit rate. I know some of you are already screaming out the answer, but I'm going to do it the annoying teacher way, because I'm going to show you the most time-consuming way to do it, but I still want you to learn it, and it's called cross product. I think the high school's getting out because all these kids are walking by, and they just keep staring in here wondering who this lunatic is, as if they're not online, viral, or whatever. Okay, I'm not even going to reduce. I could reduce, but I'm not. This times this is this times this. This times this is this times this. $6 equals 48 times 10. $6 equals 48 times 10. $6 equals 480. Divide by 6, divide by 6. 6 goes into 48 8 times, and then you bring the 0 over. 8 times, bring the 0 over. So that's $80. $80. $80. I bet some of you at the very beginning went, that was great, Mr. H. I just took a nap. But now, why didn't you just go, hey, 48 divided by 6, it's $8 a dog. 8 times 10 is 80. I could have done that, okay? You're not the smartest person in the world. But I wanted to show you. So proportions are fun because we're going to get into slope. We're going to get into some really cool stuff. This times this equals this times this. Okay, cool, peace. I got to find my cat. My cat just went wandering out. They're outside cats and inside cats. He's probably looking for dinner. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.